she doesn't act like she's Oprah Winfrey, which I really admire, and it kind of just inspired me to just like stay the same no matter what I'm going through, no matter how big I get in the industry.
Her hugs are the best. She has such warm hugs.
She does.
She hugs me and I'm like...
Okay, so I don't know how familiar you guys were with the book, but how was it taking a character that's so beloved and so well established and making it your own?
Yes, it was a fear for me because I had read the book in 6th grade and I actually got the movie 2 years later in 8th grade. So I was very familiar with the book, and I didn't want to alter or change Meg in any way because she is so beloved, but I also wanted to add a little bit more modern stuff to her and like the essence of an African American girl because she wasn't written that way. So it was a challenge, but I had a lot of fun doing it.
And what about you, Deric?
I didn't read the book because I don't know why, but I didn't read the book. So I don't know how smart he was, but everybody on set was, Ava was like, oh, you know, in the book, your character's really smart. And luckily, you don't have to dye your hair red and curly.
It's always a bonus.
That was fun, yeah.
And so you guys got to work with Oprah, which is pretty cool. So what was that like, and did she give you guys any advice?
It was amazing to work with Miss Oprah. You kind of have to pinch yourself when you're saying that. But she was so amazing to work with, and she's just so talented and so graceful on set, and she's just a good person, and she doesn't act like she's Oprah Winfrey, which I really admire, and it kind of just inspired me to just like stay the same no matter what I'm going through, no matter how big I get in the industry.
Her hugs are the best. She has such warm hugs.
She does.
She hugs me and I'm like... Her hugs, I mean, that's the greatest part of filming with her, her hugs.
So she's sort of like Aunt Beast? You got to film a little bit of that one.
Yes. I feel like she is Mrs. Who, like that's who she is, but she just has, oh no, Mrs. Witch, but she has the Aunt Beast hugs about her, if that makes sense.
Totally, totally. And what about Ava? What was it like working with her?
Oh, the best. She is so nice. One of my favorite memories is she'd always have an Altoid in her mouth.
Really?
She would. So I'd always be like, hey, how's your tongue ring? And she'd stick her tongue out and I'd always see an Altoid.
Yes. But yes, Miss Ava is amazing, and she's a great director, and she's so hands-on, and she's really involved, and it really matters to her that her cast and her crew is very comfortable, and diversity and inclusion matter to her, so I really admire her for that.
And what was it like working in green screen?
It was a challenge, because I had never worked with green screen before, but once we learned and practiced, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really hard to imagine you're on a flowy leaf thing when you're really in a harness and in a robot arm. And it's also really hard to pretend you're killing your sister when it's only lights. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to play a pretty dark version. How did you get in touch with that?
I don't know. It was sort of easy because the sets really helped too. Because, like I said, it was all green screen, blue screen and stuff like that. But they also turn all the lights down, so it's really dark. And the hallway was one of my favorite scenes to film, because we had this funny little blooper thing, where the stunt people were pulling them down, but they couldn't see because they couldn't be in the shot. And when I stopped, they kept going, and I fell on top of her.
Yeah.
Yep.
True story.
And finally, if you guys could travel through time and space, where would you go?
Hawaii.
Hawaii, okay. I would go to the past to visit my grandmother and go back to my childhood and just kind of have the knowledge and the memory I do now, but just go back in time as a baby to kind of feel how my childhood was.